How do you diagnose articulation disorders? Imagine trying to say a word and it just doesn't come out right. That's what some children experience when they have articulation issues. But how do professionals figure out what's going on? That's what we're here to explore. Diagnosing articulation disorders begins with a detailed assessment by a speech-language pathologist. They look closely at how a child produces speech sounds and whether these sounds are correct for their age. The process involves listening carefully to the child's speech and checking if sounds are substituted, distorted, left out, or added. The speech-language pathologist uses both formal and informal tools. They might give standardized tests designed to measure how well the child can produce specific sounds. These tests provide scores that show if the child's speech is typical or if there are concerns. Alongside these tests, the SLP observes the child's speech during casual conversation and may examine how their lips, tongue, and other speech muscles move. It's important to distinguish articulation disorders from other speech issues. For example, phonological disorders involve difficulties organizing sounds in words, even if the child can produce individual sounds correctly. The SLP carefully notes these differences to decide on the best treatment plan. Cultural and language background also matter. The SLP considers if the child's speech patterns are influenced by their dialect or second language. This helps prevent misdiagnosing normal speech variations as disorders. The process also includes gathering information from caregivers. They share details about the child's speech development, any medical history, and concerns they might have. This background helps the SLP understand the child's overall communication skills. During the assessment, the SLP looks for signs like speech that is hard to understand, frequent mispronunciations, or inconsistent sound errors. They also check if the child gets frustrated when trying to speak. Sometimes, additional tests are needed. These might include hearing tests to rule out hearing loss, neurological exams to check brain function, or cognitive assessments. These help ensure that the speech issues are not caused by other factors. The final diagnosis depends on whether the child's speech errors are beyond what is typical for their age and language background. If the errors are unusual and persistent, an articulation disorder is identified. Once a diagnosis is made, the SLP creates a treatment plan. This might include exercises to help the child produce sounds correctly, using visual cues or practicing specific speech sounds in different words. The goal is to improve clarity and help the child communicate more easily. In short, diagnosing articulation disorders involves careful listening, testing, observing, and considering the child's background. It's a step-by-step process that helps ensure the right support is provided for each child's unique needs.